Hello everyone, Ross the music teacher here. This is the next installment of the Grand Fretboard Experiment. In this episode we're going to take a look at what are called octaves. And we're going to fill those octaves in with the next part of the series, with our scales. Now octave, we can think of it as the white circle to white circle. We start on that white circle and we end on it. So for example, if we were to take A, like we had in the last brain training video, and of course if you're not sure with what I'm talking about, you can click this little circle up here in the corner. That'll have the playlist. You'll start there at the beginning, everyone should, and you can also claim the practice journal that has helped a lot of people so far kind of nail down their goals and reach them. So if I were to start on A, like I have above my fretboard, I'd have A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. That's my A major scale. But playing up the string every time is kind of bothersome, especially considering the fact that I can play that same scale without actually even moving up at all. I can just go A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. Right? And it's still white dot to white dot. So what we're going to learn is white to white shapes here. And these shapes come in 5 flavors, and they always occur in the same order. So it just depends, whichever one you start on, they're always going to occur in one order and cycle through. So let's learn all of the shapes first. First off, we're going to go from the A string to the B string. Now I'm always going to count this finger as my first fret, or whichever one's farthest up this way. If I'm going to say it's 3 frets back, or if I'm saying it's 3 frets the other way, and then I'm going to go from whichever one's from the far end. So we have 1, 2, 3 frets back, and on the B string you'll see the shape of it up next to my guitar headstock. That's our first octave shape. The second octave shape is going to go from the A to the G string. That's my 3rd fret up from the index, and there's a string in between, and you'll see the shape of it above the headstock there. Our next shape has 3 notes. We're going to be doing this G string note that we took from our last one. So we went initially 3rd to B, 1st fret, and then 3rd fret of the A to the 5th fret of the G. We're going to take that 5th fret of the G as our new kind of bass, and we're going to use the 8th fret of both E strings to get the other 2 octaves. So we have 1 octave and then 2 octaves with this shape. Every time we run into the E strings, since they're tuned to the same note 2 octaves apart, we're always going to have kind of a doubling, right? So that's another shape. And we're going to take these 2 shapes from the last one, and we're going to add in there the 10th fret of the D for the C octaves. But this will change, and I'll show you with a different root note as we go, but that shape holds true. So we have 3rd fret up from this low string, and then 3rd fret back from there, going from D to high E. So we have low E to D and then D to high E, and these 2 are the same fret, the 8th fret. We have 10th of the D. And then we're going to take that note on the D string and get the 4th fret up on our B string from there. So there's another octave. Now those octaves always occur in that order, that type of shape. So if we were to take a look at G, for example, we have this in our first position. That's actually our 3rd shape. So then our 4th shape would be after it, right? Then the 5th shape after that. And then we go to the 1st shape and the 2nd shape. And that's how you find all of your octaves on the guitar. So let's say we were talking F, for example. Well, we're starting here with our 4th shape, right? So we're going from low E to D and D to high E. And then I take that and I turn it into the 5th shape. And then I take that, turn it into the 1st shape here. Right? So once we have it on the 1st shape, then we can take it to the 2nd shape, right? And then 3rd shape from there. And that's just like so. So the way that you want to look at this stuff is it always occurs in order. Now, some of you might recognize this from the caged system. And this, yes, totally adheres to the caged system. We're going to talk about caged in in a more specific type of way in the future in this series. But for now, we're going to start just by identifying all octaves. In the next brain training video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting the fretboard onto the screen, and I'm going to ask you to identify the notes all in order, and then I'll show you with animations where they actually are, just to make sure that you get this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take all of those white shape to white shapes and fill them in with scales and see what other shapes are inside of the scales. Now, if you want a little bit of a jump on music theory, you could definitely check out Music Theory in One Lesson, my book on Amazon. It's also available on my site, and there will be a 1-hour video that you'll see in this little circle here if you click on it from YouTube. Don't forget to check out my practice journal, and I actually am taking some private students online from that. I only have room for really 10 at a time, so slots are filling up. You can start checking my availability by first claiming that practice journal up there. When I'm full, I'm going to cut it off until I'm not full anymore. So get in while you can. Otherwise, happy practice. Do not forget to check out the next video or subscribe. Have fun, guys. Definitely do not forget to subscribe and like this video.